I've hit that age where I go, well, they're all lying little. I hope you're bearing up with all this. It's not even all this, is it? It's all the uncertainty. That's what really gets me down. Maybe I don't know, maybe I've got some sort of OCD, but even in normal times, if I've planned everything, if something goes wrong or someone says, oh, I can't, I'll go, cancel it. Cancel it all. I'm never doing anything ever again. If I book a flight, right, and they go, oh, it's an hour delayed, right, never, yeah, you're never going to work again. Just everything's up in the air. You can't look forward to anything. Do you know the worst thing is, as well? Apart from the and the strain on the health service and people losing their livelihoods and that, the worst thing is in charge, do what they want. And you know what? I can you know, because the people in charge, the posh, privileged people in charge, were acting like Charlie Sheen. I mean, really rubbing salt in the wound. And as I say, I don't get political, but they're all... When are we going to stop taking went to Eton as a qualification to run the country? I mean, now. Oh, you've got our rules. Unless you're the Prime Minister. Political satire. Right? I don't get political. I feel like it though. I'm getting angrier and holding it all in more and more. Even live, I don't really get political. I think I've been naive. I've hit that age where I go, well, they're all lying, little corrupt. It was just lying in their own part, and I just think I thought there was good guys and bad guys, but now I just think they're all little. Is that political? Is that some really nuanced insight into the workings of society? Greedy little posh. Good. That's why I don't get political. I've noticed all around, you know, there's a lot of annoyance and frustration, totally justified as well. Misinformation, anger, anxiety and depression, you know. But I do notice, I have noticed that it's getting a lot of people down. So, you know, when you can't do stuff, you think, well, I've got to do something. We're built like that. We've got to do something. You know, it's so this helped me doing this. Just, you know, talking. Yeah. Apple roared into the TV game with a morning show, a superb drama, yeah. A superb drama about the importance of dignity and doing the right thing, made by a company that runs in China. So, well, you say you, but the companies you work for, I mean, unbelievable. Apple, Amazon, Disney. If started a streaming service, you'd call your agent, wouldn't you? So, if you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and... So... It's already 3 hours long. Yeah, okay. Well, I hope you're bearing up and right. Have a good time. Tatty bye everyone. Be nice to animals. Tatty bye. Sufjan Stevens. The Only Thing. I used that as the last song on series 2 of Afterlife. Beautiful. How are you? Exciting times in America and for the rest of the world, I think. Which is a good thing, of course. Where are you watching this from? Let me know. Is this working? It seems to be working. I've had gigs cancelled. I could just be talking to myself again. Stressed. Upset. It's not over yet. What are you upset about? I don't know whose side you're on. Going slightly mad. Crazy in the US. Someone from Hampstead, that's down the road. Vancouver. Montana. Devon. Chicago. Liverpool. Turkey. Bournemouth. Liverpool. 2 for Liverpool. Liverpool in the lead. Philadelphia. Ireland. Toronto. Texas. Good. Right, let's kick off. Forget the election. Forget all natural disasters. Forget that we're a dying species on a dying planet, circling a dying sun. Let's get to the important stuff. This is from Tiana. Thoughts on the existence of slugs? It's a good question. I have got thoughts on the existence of slugs, and I'm all for it. Slugs. Well, they're what can I tell you about slugs? They're mollusks, for more specifically gastropods, which I think means stomach-footed. They're basically a thing that's a foot with a stomach. They basically eat and then move, and that's it. They're about, when I say they're mollusks and more specifically gastropods, it goes phylum, class, order, family, genus, species, and so that's all the branches. You start off with a kingdom. So they're animals, and then it's the phylum, and then the phylum has different classes, and each class has different orders. Phylum, class, order, family, genus, and then species, and that's a specific. And there are 5 to 10s of millions of species. But yeah, so the phylum is mollusks, means soft-bodied. You've got slugs, snails, sea slugs, octopus, and then you've got gastropods, which are slugs and snails. And I think snails came first. They're about 150 million years old, right? So they've been around for a long time. They haven't changed much. But slugs evolved from snails. They lost their shell. They had their shell first, and then they've still got a little residue cell inside. If you opened up a slug, which I don't know why you would, a lot of people think a slug is just a homeless snail. It's not. It's evolved rather like the slow worm. Isn't a snake, it's a lizard, and it lost its legs. It didn't need them. It goes, it said, listen, I'll be honest, I do a lot of burrowing, and the legs get in the way. Right? So I'll lose them, be more like a snake. And some snails obviously went, I don't need this shell, I want to get into places, I'll lose the shell. I think the shell was more important in the early days of being a slug, like 150 million years ago. It sort of protects you from stuff. But then as soon as elephants came along, I'll be honest, this shell doesn't do a lot. This shell doesn't do a lot against a mammoth. I'd rather be a slug. I'd rather be free. So that's what I think of slugs. And they're basically food for every vertebrate, type of vertebrate. The birds, lizards,
mammal, and just everything eats the slug. The slug is basically food. It just eats plants. It knows its place. That's all I know about slugs. Good luck to them. Freya says, we all know you're a huge dog lover. What is your favourite breed of dog? Oh, that's so difficult. My favourite breed of dog is the last one I've seen. Listen, I love the classics. I just don't think you can beat a beautiful retriever or a big old Labrador. But then, you start mixing them up because it's selective breeding, isn't it? A dog is a dog. And I saw a dog the other day that was half German Shepherd, half Labrador. Amazing. The ears didn't know what to do because the Alsatian was going, let's do that, and the Labrador was going, let's do that, and so they sort of met in the middle. So I do notice the ears on a dog first. I just love all dogs. I love every breed of dog. I love a dog that likes me. I can't stand if a dog ignores me. I go, hello, he goes, yeah, whatever. I go, So I love some dogs are a bit too task orientated. They look at the ball, or I want a dog that loves me, or at least it looks like it loves me, even if it's just going feed me. I don't care. But I do like a big old mixed up mongrel rescue. I honestly, I love all dogs. Do you get heckled much on stage, and what's your strategy for dealing with hecklers? Do you just ignore them, or have come back? I don't. I ignore them. Do you know what? I don't get heckled. No, I think I don't know. I don't know why I don't. I think it's rarer anyway in really big shows because they know you can't really hear them. So I think that usually happens in sort of clubs and comedy clubs and pub. There's more of a culture of that. There's no point in shouting from the back of an arena. And if you're at the front, you've paid too much. You don't want to ruin the show. It's so rare. I think I've had a couple of people shout out, and the whole of the tour, and even that's usually something like, "We love you, Ricky." I mean, you don't need to deal with it, but you should ignore them because and it's usually early on as you walk out. So no, I don't. I remember on Humanity, there's a bit where I'm talking about not having kids, and I'm in the middle of it, and I'm getting angry about this mythical child, and someone shouted something, and I what? He said, it's a waste of a life. And I went, it put me off, I went, shut up, you, like that, right? And the audience sort of laughed, and I got on with it. And then as I was carrying on, my subconscious worked out that actually he was sort of complimenting me, like he was sort of saying, oh, that's a way, you should have kids, you'd be a good dad. And then I did the routine, and then I went to get a drink, and 10 minutes, I said, sorry mate, when you shouted that, were you saying, he went, yeah. I went, oh, sorry for calling you. But it's sort of, I didn't want it to be an unjustified put down, because he was just a bit, and he was being nice. So I felt really guilty about putting him down. And it sort of preyed on my mind. And sometimes heckles will be nice, So you just got to judge it. But I think if it's just ignore it, and they feel like you move on. Because there's a certain part of a heckler that wants to be noticed. They sort of want to be part of the show, like a troll. They want you to. If you ignore them, they don't exist. Depending. I mean, if they were consistent, you've got to deal with it. But it just doesn't happen at my gigs. It doesn't happen at theatre gigs. It doesn't happen at arena gigs. It happens, when they're having a drink at a table in a club, I think. Ollie comic strip. If you met your 40 years younger self, what would you like about him? Or is it her? And what wouldn't you like? What would your younger self like about you, and what wouldn't he like? Apart from all the fat. Unbelievable. So what would my late 50s fat, grizzled, old, lazy, rich person think about my 20-year-old struggling, skinny, enthusiastic self? I don't know. I think I was all right. I'd probably say, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. Don't. But then it happened, so he was fine. What would he like about me? I don't know. He'd probably, if he knew it was me, he'd be shocked that he lived that long and then was that fat. He'd go, I didn't know you could be that fat and still be alive at that age. I go, yeah, the medicine's amazing. The medicine's amazing in 40 years, mate. Have another drink. Don't worry about it. It's tough, that question, isn't it? Gunnar, you see a report on the news that you've died in a freak accident. This never ends well, does it? These questions for me. So I see on the news that there's a report that I'm dead. Do you call everyone right away or watch it play out? Well, I suppose, what would be the first thing I'd do? I suppose I'd have to call immediate family, wouldn't I? And then what I'd do is I'd replay it on the news, tape it and tweet it. Tape the news that I died. Oh God, it's a funny question. That's happened to a few people, isn't it, when they do that fake trends on Twitter. R.I.P. Maybe what if I thought it was real? What if it was like one of those horror films when you're watching it on the news and you go, I'm not dead, and you look round and Jane's crying over my body and I am dead, I'm a ghost. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Oh, I like things like that, but the build-up's too much, isn't it? Those films when it's like a shock ending, you think, well, yeah, but that took 90 minutes. But just tweet the twist. I love a good horror film, but they're rare, aren't they? There's so few good horror films. Lots of things ruin a horror film for me. The first one is not taking it seriously. If I think that the director's got a wry sense of humour, that annoys me. I go, well, don't do it then. Don't do a spoof horror film, or don't try and get away with both. Don't sort of undermine the cliche because it ruins the tension. Just I want a sincere horror film that's fucking scary and horrible, and you know, I want someone who's trying to make the audience fucking terrified. I don't want to try and make me laugh. I like something psychological. I really like something psychological. Something that's just the tension. I did when I was growing up. I liked things like vampire films and zombies. Zombies were stressful because it was never ending. Like I like the zombie trilogy and just opening the lift and they all come in. Oh fucking hell! Oh, that's too much. But now things like that don't make me. I'm not scared of that. Just something psychological. Just A face at a window is still good, isn't it? That's really good. A face at a window is still good. The bathroom mirror cliche. It's good. Oh, good. Clean your teeth. Look down. Look up. That's always a good one. Right. Yeah, I would call immediate family, Gunner. Um, what if they hadn't watched the news and I called them and said, I'm not dead? And they go, what? I'm not dead. Well, all right, cheers. Bye. Bella, on a good day, how many pigeons do you think you could catch? Yeah, no, I'm not fast enough to catch a pigeon, Bella. I've saved a few pigeons in my time. Once, right, we're in New York and it was like December. It was freezing, and there was a pigeon just on the pavement, and people sort of like walked past, and I went to it and it didn't move. And I thought, oh, I picked it up, and we were walking home, and it was. I carried it for about 25 minutes like that. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. And then it sort of wriggled and just flew off. I think it had like just knocked its head or something. I just thought, and then it came to. So that one was easy to catch. A fat stunned pigeon is really easy to catch. But no, I'll be honest. I don't think many people can catch a pigeon. They're pretty cool customers. They always leave it when I'm in a car and they're sort of pegging somewhere, and the car. I think we've hit it, and it goes. Oh, it just leaves to the last minute. They're clever little things. Right, here we go. Here he is. It's Rupert. Uncle, have you ever had any DIY home improvement disasters? Like my mum, who when her and dad lived in a flat, decided to decorate the lounge and wanted the bottom half of the walls papered and the top half painted. She decided, whilst Dad was at work and after some wine, to help speed things up. So she measured a piece of wallpaper, cut it to size, then proceeded to cut the rest of the roll to that size. Only thing was, the walls were out. The walls were out. The walls weren't out. The walls were out. And so... not even, and was left with pieces cut way too short. I wouldn't know where to start with wallpapering. I just didn't know where to start. I've seen it done. My mum used to do it. Fucking ladders, on chairs and planks between them. She did the stairs. That's how she did the stairs. But I can't do DIY. I haven't got the patience. I just haven't got the patience to know you've got to do it. I know there's ways to do it, but I think, no, I can't do all that. I did try to build some shelving once. We lived in our first sort of flat, and it was horrible, and there was nothing there. And I found 3 bits of wood in a skip, and I thought I'll make a shelf, and I had nothing to make it with, right? I think I had a hammer and a couple of nails. So what I did was I just put the 2 bits of wood like that and put the bit of wood on top of it, right? And I nailed them like that and put it against the wall. And as soon as I did that, it just sort of went like that because there was no. So it was like that now. There was a parallelogram just against the wall, right? Right. And by the time Jane come home, what I'd done is I'd put another nail here, tied a bit of string to it, and pulled it and nailed it in the wall. So this shelf was 3 bits of wood with a bit of string nailed in the other wall. What a shambles. It was dreadful. You got to do things properly. You can't, like me making a suit out of curtains. I think that's the worst one I've done. I'll tell you a good tip. What I used to do, I don't know where I saw it, but we used to find bits of wood and things in skips to make stuff. And I'll tell you a good tip for a shelf. If you get a nice bit of wood, bricks. Like a couple of bricks, shelf, couple of bricks, shelf. It looks really cool. But I've had a few of them. Once, I thought when I was in a band, because studio time was really expensive, rehearsal time was really expensive, I went to like a little local corner shop and they had a basement. And I said, oh, can we use that to rehearse? And I went, yeah. So I soundproofed it, right? I found, me and my band, we got loads of mattresses and we put it all around the walls of this little basement, right? But then when we came to rehearse in the summer, it was like a sauna of. So it was like 90 degrees down there, and all the in the mattresses came out, and it was like it just stank of hot. And so we went upstairs and said we can't do it anymore. Oh, what a disaster. So I think to answer your question, Rupert, yeah, I have had a few DIY disasters. Have I tried to fix anything else? Tried to fix a chair today in my office with sellotape. One of the things broke, so I tried to do it with sellotape. Yeah. In the end, I just swapped it out for a different chair. It's not going to work. You got to have a go, ain't you? Right. One last question. It's from Kermit. You awaken. You awaken. It's like translated from the Brothers Grimm or something, isn't it? You awaken with the mouth of an anteater and really short arms like T-Rex. Oh. So, like that, yeah? Right. You go downstairs for breakfast only to find Jane has signed you up for piano lessons. How do you cope? I could do that, couldn't I? I've got short arms, but I've got normal hands, have I? Or have I actually got... Because if I actually had the arms of T-Rex, that wouldn't be that bad, would it? Because you think that his arms short on him, but on me, they'd be all right, wouldn't they? But I'm assuming I just lean forward like that. Would my nose get in the way? If I'm trying to play the piano, I keep hitting my nose because I've got that. So I go... So I'll be honest, I think the piano lessons would be the least of my troubles. I'd come downstairs with the nose of an anteater and short arms, and I'd go, oh, the piano lessons. That wouldn't, it wouldn't, that's a drop in the ocean, mate. Unbelievable. Well, sorry if I didn't get to your question. I sort of try and see them through the day, these questions. They come in randomly. And I try and cut and paste them so they're all in one place. And I miss some and forget some. And yeah. So sorry if I didn't get to yours. But I hope you still enjoyed it. Listening to cats and dogs ask me about losing parts of my body. I'm just trying to think of other DIY disasters. Once, right, when we were at school in the library, me and my mate Jack were mucking around. Right, it's meant to be reading time, right, and it was sort of like, you know what a library's like, but it was like loads of shelves and a sort of a desk behind each little partition of shelves, right, where you know, you're meant to be sitting quietly. And Jack thought it'd be funny to climb up, right, and look over at me to surprise me. And he got to the top and went like that, and I looked up and laughed, and then the shelves broke, and he just went like that, right? And it was an almighty crash, and all the shelves fell on him, and the teacher came round and looked at him like that, and Jack picked up a book and went, "Have you got anything on frogs?" And the teacher went mental. Right, like the idea. He thought, I'm going to get in trouble anyway. I've got to make the most of this. I've got to go down fighting. I've got to go down laughing. Oh, dear. Oh, well, there you go. That was a load of bucks, wasn't it? I've had lots of requests from people to sponsor this, but they keep coming up with ideas. You know, really good money, but doing things, and I don't want to do anything. I just want it to be this. So, any companies, I'll do it if I can just say, this is a load of sponsored by What's It. Thanks for the money. Here's a donation to animal charities, and then just do the normal show. I don't want to do anything but this, and. So yeah, sorry about that. I wish I'd never asked now. I'm having to turn down really good money because I don't want to change this. I mean, that's ridiculous. Why? Well, let's stay sane. Be nice to animals. Cheers. Hold on, where's the thing to turn it off? It's gone. Oh no, it's still there. Tatty bye, everyone. Tatty bye.
Did Biden make a blunder, or did he have no choice really but to do this?
I mean, there's obviously your fair share of you got your pillaging, you got all that, you got your murders. They're safe.
What's disgusting about it is that he BS'd for so many times that he said he wasn't going to pardon his son. And that's when he was going to run for president. So he lied. But that's typical of all politicians. All they are lying pieces of crap to get their way into office. So should he have done it? You know, Judge Andrew Napolitano, who was he was a Supreme Court judge in New Jersey. He knows the Bill of Rights and the Constitution better than anybody that I know. He just wrote an article about the Biden pardoning his son. And he goes on to say, it's not right. But he goes on to also say what the son did was not that terrible in terms that, let me get the proper language here, is that he harmed no one by his tardy tax payment with interest and penalties, and he harmed no one obtaining a gun permit and discarding the weapon. Thus, the three components of crime, legitimate authority, palpable harm, and articulable victim, are all absent in the Hunter Biden case. So that's the way the judge looks at it. But as I look at it, again, he lied and said he wasn't going to do it. But think about this. Then you got Trump. Trump gave this guy, Jared Kushner's father, when Trump was president, he pardoned him of his criminal activities. Oh, and now he just appointed him as America's ambassador to France. I'm just pointing it out. This is not a government. It's a crime syndicate.
Say this was a world where there was only one ruler and for a day you ruled it. I like it. I don't actually. I'd say no. If someone said, oh, you're the ruler of the world on the 5th of June, I wouldn't sleep till the 5th of June. On the 4th of June, I'd get out of it. I'd go, I can't do it. It's too, I don't want the pressure.
But Biden didn't pardon him for those two particular crimes that he'd been convicted of. He pardoned him for any crime that he may have committed. And what date did he choose? January of 2014, 3 weeks before Hunter started work, in quotation marks, at Burisma in Kiev. That's the rat that we can smell, isn't it?
Well, of course, it's not only, it's also that other little clown boy that ran for president. And again, these are all daddy's boys, you know. John Kerry, his stepson-in-law, Chris Hines of the Hines 57 family, he was also on Burisma Energy. And this is after the United States overthrew the democratically elected government of Viktor Yanukovych in 2014. Right away, these two clown boys that don't know anything about Burisma Energy or energy, they're on the board of directors, making tens of millions of dollars in front of everybody's eyes, but that's okay. So, yeah, I agree with you. What they're doing, it's a crime syndicate that people call a government. Again, this is your Trends Journal back in 2014. You see how happy that guy is? It's all about America's overthrow of the democratically elected government of Viktor Yanukovych, and the article is written by Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, former Assistant Treasury Secretary under Ronald Reagan, and he makes it clear right here. I'm not going to go into the whole thing. Ukraine presented the perfect opportunity for Washington to advance its hegemonic agenda, and goes on to talk about the overthrow. And then Biden brings his little boy in, a little drug addict, nothing little clown, shot up freak. But I know all about Burisma Energy.
You have the power to change the laws, but only one law you choose stays changed after 24 hours. What law would you want changed permanently? Well, it would be something around. It would be something around human or animal rights, definitely. It'd be good, wouldn't it? To you're not allowed to. Just not allowed to kill anything for a laugh. You're not allowed to kill an animal for a laugh. You're not allowed to just go trophy hunting. It's illegal. I mean, it should be in fox hunting. Just ridiculous fucking blood sports. You're not allowed to cause an animal any fucking pain unless it's a really good reason, like self-defense. If you're asleep at night and a shark gets in your window and starts eating it, you're allowed to hurt it. There you go. Anything else? don't fucking torture and murder animals for a laugh. That's gone, right?
This little clown boy of nothing. You've been sucking off the public tit for over 60 years. A little jerk. And again, I want to make this clear too. All these little warmongers, you talked about Trump, he killed Soleimani, tried to overthrow the government of Venezuela. Oh, we're going to do this. We're going to be tough. These guys, they're all, I'm the same age as Trump. And Biden's, a couple of years older than me. We grew up during the Vietnam War. These little clown boys that talk real tough, where they got 4 and 5 draft deferments, and they love war. So anyway, going back to what Trump is going to do, Trump is going to do anything he wants to do, when he wants to do it, and how he wants to do it, and nobody's going to stop him. So Biden could get away with murder. They all could get away with murder. Look at their track records. By their deeds you shall know them. Look at the murderers. What, you like Bill Clinton's murders? Look what he did to Iraq. Killed over 500,000 Iraqi children. Ruined Yugoslavia. How about the Nobel Peace of Crap Prize winner, Barack Obama? When we got Afghan troop surge, I want that guy Gaddafi out of there. Get rid of Assad. All right, it's a crime syndicate. Talk about anyone you want. You were talking about Boris Johnson before. The best cartoonist in the world. Couldn't come up with a little freakier little clown boy than that. Take a look at that little Catson Macron over there in France. Hey, how about Olaf Scholz? The people that get into government are the lowest pieces of slime that you could imagine. Oh, not my language, language of a real man that was in war, that hated war. Dwight D. Eisenhower, 5-star general, Supreme Commander of the Allied Forces, 2-term president. Google it up. Any man seeking the office of president is either an egomaniac or crazy.
These people are just, I said it at the Globes, they know nothing about the real world. We're meant to feel sorry for them, you know, where you realise that their life is 10 times better than the average person. They've got nothing to worry about. Pixies. Debaser. What a track. What a band. I'm sure you all know them. Still quite cult. Amazing. Influential. Going for years. Brilliant. And yet, they've never done the Royal Variety performance. So, you do the math. How are you? It's 1 year today since we lost lovely Ollie. Ollie Comic Strip wanted me to pay tribute to her and Rupert, who we also lost. Harry the cat here. All our family love The Office, Derek and Afterlife, thank you. Dad and my bro love your stand-up, whereas Mum and I love that you take questions and reply to animals. Right, has your fan base changed in the last year? How many are pets? I don't know. I don't know if it's changed. It sort of changes all the time because people discover you and they discover different things and they discover it out of order, if you know what I mean. So early days it was just The Office. Then it was extras. Then it was like maybe, you know, hosting the Golden Globes, which more people see at once. Or being in something like Night in the Museum. You know, kids would recognise me from Night in the Museum or the Muppets, you know. So it depends. I remember when I first got on Facebook, most people came up to me and said, thanks for all the work you do for animals, which was really strange. They didn't mention The Office or Derek which is really nice. So I think it probably has changed, or at least the attitude. I think people feel that it was nice to connect. That's what I feel anyway. I feel that it's not necessarily changed, but it's nice to connect with fans. Not literally. I mean, I know you're miles away, and I don't want to get close enough to smell you. But as much as you can connect over the internet, being beamed into space and down to Michigan or whatever, I feel that I feel like I have more of a normal connection with people, which is nice and rare. As I said, you won't get George Clooney doing this. You will not get Brad Pitt. You will not get Sir Bradley Pitt doing in a drain. Not for. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I've lost all dignity for you guys, and I'm happy with that. Scarlett, the lovely rescue dog, rescued from a laboratory. I'm still trying to end, obviously, animal testing. Good news in the paper this week that they found a cure for cancer using computer modelling, not testing on animals at all. Testing on animals doesn't work. I've said it before, 93% of all tests that work on animals then fail and are dangerous in humans. It's a con. It's a big money-making con, and people feel relaxed. They go test animals. That doesn't make a difference, right? Computer modelling works better, but it's cheaper, which is a bad thing because obviously people sell the beagles for $2,000 or whatever. So, you know, with medicine, I can see people go, oh, but it might cure it. It doesn't. But I can see that with cosmetics, no brainer. Only shop for things that aren't tested on animals. Scarlet. Us dogs have around 300 million smell receptors in comparison with humans, who have about 6 million. Brilliant. What's that? Wow, that's 50 times. That's incredible. We can even smell detect cancer, I know, to help our humans. Think of that. Think how animals help us and then we treat them like we do. Are there any of your senses you'd like to magnify as much as our noses? Yeah, it wouldn't be smell, because you can't turn that off. Maybe hearing, but I don't need it. I've pretty got good eyesight, I think. I think I'd be able to, because at least you can close your eyes. With smell, with hearing, you can stick earplugs in, listen to something else. You shut your eyes. With smell, I was on a plane once, and this bloke had his shoes off, and his feet stank, and you can't get away from it. And what could he do? I can't go, mate, you stink. Get your feet down the bog. You filthy, what can you do? So I wouldn't want to have super senses that I couldn't turn off. But I think it would be sight, I think. Yeah, it'd be great, wouldn't it? Was it Steve Austin who had one bionic eye? That'd be like that. What's that noise? It's Ricky looking. All right. Why does it make that noise? I don't know. It just does. It makes it when he's looking. Yeah, I'd have that super sight. Then I could read your comments. X-ray vision, no. Have you seen Ray Milland in The Man with X-ray Eyes? Drives him mental. Starts off all fun and games, then it drives him mental because he can't sleep because of X-rays in his face. That's where I get a lot of my science from. Films and the $6 Million Man. Everyone over 40 will be vaccinated. Luckily, most of my cast and crew are over 40. That's all right. All the extras have been vaccinated. No, Danbury be the oldest town in the world. If anyone coughs, I'll be like Tom Cruise. I'll go mental.
We are the gold standard. They're back there in Hollywood making movies right now because of us. Because they believe in us and what we're doing. I'm on the phone with every studio at night. Insurance companies. Producers. And they're looking at us and using us to make their movies. We are creating thousands of jobs, you I don't ever want to see it again. Ever.
Oh dear. Bella, hey Ricky. Winning awards must be pretty cool. I'm over it. You know, I've got enough. Also, all the things I've said, I think there's a conspiracy. I don't think there's any award body that wants me to win an award now and get up there and say something. Although, this year's been really good. They've been flooding in, so it is nice. But have you ever been given a plate to lick clean after it had gravy on it? I used to use bread, Bella. When I used to have like roasted in the gravy, I used to do it with everything though. Like if you had a lovely yummy sort of pasta, all the sauce that would be left at the end, I'd get a bit of bread, and by a bit of bread I mean half a loaf. And I think it's mainly bread I like. But yeah, I used to love mopping up my gravy with bread. I used to do it with everything. I used to have what was that I used to? Oh, I used to have evaporated milk. Does that exist anymore? When I was a kid, my mum would give me a bowl of milk like a fucking cat with a little slice of bread, and I used to That's why I love animals. I was brought up like one. I remember that. I used to love it. Bit of bread and a bowl of evaporated milk. Me, what a weird fucking childhood. Yeah. Fucking hell. What is evaporated milk? You don't see it anymore. It used to be in a tin. Do you have it? Carnation. That was it. Yeah, carnation. Yeah. Oh God. I talk about my childhood like it was the war. You know what I mean? It seems like such a bygone era. Well, it is, isn't it? I'm old. It didn't do me any harm, did it? What was the question? Yes, I did. I loved scooping up juices with bread, gravy. Yeah. Now, obviously, vegan stuff. Soup. Every day I have a little lentil soup with a bit of bread. That's the best bit. Then you drink the soup. All the bread swells up. I'm not a nutritionist. Claire, would you rather develop A, hiccups that you can't get rid of, no matter what you try? Oh, that's just already stressing me out. B, a wart on your nose that keeps growing and can't be removed. The inability to control yourself from shouting obscenities at anyone who annoys you. Well, I always have that problem. I already have a problem with that. Oh, but I can't. Oh, I've got hiccups now, but I can't control it. I'd have to shout. Like the bloke with it. So on the plane, as soon as I went like that, took his shoe off, go and clean your feet, you filthy. So I'd say it, and there'd be a fight, wouldn't there? Yeah, it can't be that one. Wart on your nose that keeps growing. What do you mean keeps growing? It's just getting like just until a fucking Rudolph. What do you mean? That's shit, isn't it? That's not too bad. Hiccups. It can't be hiccups. It can't be hiccups. And it's got to be the wart. And I just go, it's a wart. Get over it. Oh God, I look like fucking witchy poo. Your nose keeps growing anyway as you get older, so mine will just be pointed or a little bob. It's got to be the. It can't be hiccups because I go mental and I can't sleep. It drives me mental. I can't shout what I'm thinking because all the time I'm thinking I'm angry at people all the time. So I just be shouting. You look like a f***ing mate. So no, it can't be that one. It's got to be the wart. Who cares, Joey? Would you rather think of George Clooney and Brad Pitt doing this shit? Never happen. Joey, would you rather have spontaneous, uncontrollable shouting of your own name? So I just walk along shouting Ricky Gervais? Or approach strangers at random and tell them I'm the guy from The Office? Oh, God. Well, the first one happened to me once. I was walking home from my office when I lived in Bloomsbury, and there was a couple of teenagers on bikes. They're like 13, and they stopped as I was crossing the road. They went, "Hey, office man, innit?" I went, "Yeah, hi," and I kept walking. And they went, "What's your name?" And by this time, I'd got across the other side of the road. Right? And they went, "What's your name?" And I had to shout, Ricky Gervais. So anyone passing just sees me shouting at two kids on a bike, Ricky Gervais. Why don't I just go, shut up, mate? I'm not shouting. Fucking. Oh, so that wasn't so bad. I'm the guy from The Office. Oh, for fuck's sake. Joey, you always have the worst question. I just shout Ricky Gervais because then people think, oh, he can't help it. He's got a condition. He shouts his own name, and it'd be like a novelty. I just walk along the street and they go, look, it's Ricky Gervais, and I shout Ricky Gervais. They go, see. I'd have to live in a weird little village where everyone knew me, so it just didn't bother them. Joey. It's that one, just me shouting. Now, I've been asked to do those things. You know, like Ant and Dec have an earpiece, and they do it with Richard Madeley, where you have to say stupid things. And Ellen even asked me to do one where I had to go in a McDonald's or something, and say, do you know who I am? I couldn't do it. I say, I can't do it. I can't do it for that 1 minute, hidden camera stuff. That 1 minute they think, fuck me, who's this? I haven't got the nerve. I couldn't do it. So that would be tough. Cheers, Joey, you idiot. Julia, what's the weirdest thing you've heard about in nature? I've just watched A Perfect Planet where male fig wasps start to mate with their unhatched sisters. Oh, well, I'm from the West Country, so that is... To reach them, they use a telescopic that's twice their body length. That is a good fact, isn't it? So, they mate with they're an egg. They're mating with an egg. They're unhatched sisters. So they're injecting through an egg into... Now, that is weird, isn't it? That is weird. Not to a wasp. It's normal to a wasp. If you told a wasp how we do it, they go, you do what? They go, that's weird. Why did you wait that long? What's the weird? Oh, I know. This is fascinating. Well, you'll be the judge of that. There's a parasite. I think it's like a parasitic worm that starts its life cycle in a stickleback, a fish, right? But it has to complete its life cycle in a warm-blooded animal. So it has to get into a warm-blooded animal. And so this is what it does. So the stickleback has got this little parasite. And the stickleback usually, if it sees a heron, the shadow, the shape of a heron, it flees the shadow. It knows, right? Instinctive, right? This parasite, at a certain point in its life cycle, I don't know how it does it. I assume sort of chemical or biological, pheromone or something. I don't know how it does it. But it changes the stickleback's behaviour. So when the stickleback sees a heron, it's not scared of the shadow. So it doesn't flee. So the heron eats it and the parasite gets into a warm-blooded animal. That is like magic, isn't it? That is like some sort of weird spell, and it's all explainable. Even though that sounds like the craziest way to do something, it just did it without will, through natural selection. It's fucking. I mean, every fact is remarkable. It's just what we're used to. So you break down how a fucking flower pollinates itself. It's off the charts, mental, but we're used to it. So there's no fact really stranger than any other fact, because we're around because it works. If you're around, it's because it works. But that is amazing, isn't it? Because you think of the parasite somehow in the stickleback, don't run away. Stickleback, what? Don't run away. Okay. But no, it's just pure physics and chemistry and biology. That's all everything is, really. Even though it feels magical, it's just energy, just electricity pinging around, doing, and nothing we can do about it. I use my chemistry and biology to answer questions from pets. That's my raison d'etre. Wow, good question. Right, Leopold and Loveday. As you know, we invented the catnap. Yeah, you're welcome. I have one every day. I'm going to miss that when I'm filming. A little nap at 1 o'clock. Oh, maybe I could build it in to the crew. Just make the cast and crew. Right, everyone snooze. 40 minutes. As you know, we invented the catnap. After your nap, are you refreshed or do you just crave more sleep? Sometimes you wake up more tired, you want to carry on. I think there's an optimum. I think if you can fall asleep and wake up in like 25 minutes, that'll be perfect. But then sometimes you get that, like that winter sleep when the fire's on and you get that winter sleep and you go, oh, yeah, it's an hour and a half. That's like half a day to me. No, I look forward to it. I get up now. I can even get up a little bit earlier thinking I can have a nap in 5 hours. So, yeah, I'm going to miss that. It's great, isn't it, a nap? It's a real privilege, isn't it, to have a little nap? Titch, if GMB asked you to present the news now, would you? I think you'd be a great anchorman. I'd be terrible. I'd be terrible. I'd be terrible in every way. I'd be terrible in ways that contradicted the other ways I was terrible. Like, too nice or too nasty or too stupid. I couldn't do it. I'd also be bored. I'd start reading the news and go, fuck that, who cares? I think that's most of it as well. I see these things that are in the news all the time, like things that blow up. You know, couldn't give a. It makes me angry that people care about shit. Celebrity shit is the worst. I don't care. I don't care who said what about who. I don't care who you're going out with. I don't care who you split up with. I don't care. I don't care what your fucking family think of you or what you think. Just fucking do it. Just shut up. Shut the fuck up. Then that's what I'd be like on GMB Titch. So I think that there's your answer. That's how good I'd be. If they want that, I'm your fucking man. If they want that, I'll do it for a week. People have got real lives. People have got real lives. These people are just, I said it at the Globes, they know nothing about the real world. We're meant to feel sorry for them, you know, where you realise that their life is 10 times better than the average person. They've got nothing to worry about. Whoever it is, you know, and people can have a bad day if you're a millionaire or a billionaire or whatever, but why do a press release about it? Why do people do a press release about the... anyway, you know what I think about that. Go online and talk to cats and dogs. Mum and Sherlock. You wake up alone and realise you're an old woman with a walker. You think it's a nightmare, but it's not. Don't make it worse. Trying to scare me. Like, it really is. I've turned into an old woman with a walker. Right? Classic. There's a note on the table. It says, if you can convince someone that you are you, you'll be yourself again. What do you say to do or sound convincing? Well, so basically it's got to be Jane, because I'd have the biggest well of things that only we knew about, wouldn't I? Because anything that anyone else knows about me, probably everyone knows about it. They'd go, oh, you could have read that, that's online. Or, how do I know? I don't know you well enough. Whereas Jane would know what was true, yeah, that'd be tough, wouldn't it? Could I just go, remember that thing we watched last night? And she'd be going, what are you doing in my house? You're an old lady. I'd go, no, listen, I'm not an old lady. Do you remember what I said to you when we were watching that Dutch drama last night? She'd go, what? I go, just think. Oh, that would be horrible, wouldn't it? That would be horrible. Good question, that. That's funny, that. That's a really good question. Yeah. I don't know what I'd say. I think that'd be the best thing, wouldn't it? To choose something that had to be us, like recently, that we remember. But then you think, well, you know, an old lady was spying on us. Where's Ricky? I'm Ricky. Oh, it'd be horrible. Right. Last question. That was a complete load of bollocks, wasn't it? Grumble Stiltskin. Good name. Afternoon, Ricky. Despite your many accomplishments, is there anything you still wish you had achieved? Oh, loads. But I mean, maybe I haven't even thought of them yet. I just sort of go along with what I'm doing and sort of, do new things. And I'd love, I don't know. Well, I'd like to go out on a high with Afterlife. I'd like that to be the most watched British comedy again. I mean, I don't know why I stopped there. I'd like it to be the most watched program in the world. There's no ceiling to it. I want people to really like it. I can't wait to get back to gigging. I can't wait to finish Supernature and start the next one. So I just want to keep. I want to be able to keep doing exactly what I want, if you know what I mean. That's the aim. Whatever happens, you want to be able to keep doing your passion uncompromised and it working, and that's more important than anything. If to do my own thing, it made because everything was changed and it made half the money or a tenth the money or tenth the viewers, but it was still exactly what I do. I'd still choose that over just trying to be big. But once you've done something you're proud of, you want as many people to watch it. So I want to carry on doing this and being at some level successful. That's always nice that people watch things. That's what success is, that people watch your thing and you got paid for it and you like it. And an animal sanctuary. I still think it sounds like a kid's pipe dream, but I still think that waking up in a castle surrounded by rescue animals with land. I'd wear a cape. I would wear a cape. I'd ride around on a horse if he wanted me to. I'd give him the choice. I go, do you want it? He goes, yeah, go on. They'd equal rights, me and the animals, and that would be great. And if I got bored, I could always do this. I'd go, hi gang, it's me. I'm Ricky. I'm on a horse. Say hello. Right. See you later. Thank you. Check out All Dogs Matter, new T-shirt. Watch Life on the Road. Hey Siri, play Life on the Road by David Brent. Alexa, play Life on the Road by David Brent. See you later. Tatty bye everyone. Be nice to animals. Tatty bye.